everyone, welcome back to the Paranormal Pride. And if you're the first time listener, welcome. I'd love to hear your opinions on how I'm doing on all this stuff. But the Paranormal Pride has been around for 7 years, and this is going to be our 7th anniversary episode. And my guests tonight are Katy and Katy Stafford. And you might know Katy as being the technical guy behind the show Ghosts of Morgan City. He created a bunch of ITC devices, and hopefully he'll be able to show us a few of those tonight. And then his wife, Katy, she's a graphic designer, and she's really into the paranormal. They hold events here in the Kansas and Missouri area. And I've been with them a few times at this point. Long before, I met Katy a long time ago prior to the Ghosts of Morgan City. He's also created devices for Jack Osbourne he created an ITC device, and it's been on Portals to Hell. So it'll be interesting to hear about that. He's been on Discovery Plus or Travel Channel, different things with, what was it? Fright Club. So he was on there. So if you do any of those streaming services, you may have seen that. He's really very interesting to talk to. He's a military veteran. He's in the Army and lives here in the Kansas City area, and real good friends with Sarah Lemos. And they got a new show coming out. This is Katy does. It's a new show with Dave Schrader and Cindy Kaza. It's called Ghosts of Devil's Perch, which is actually Butte, Montana. So I think it's going to be really interesting to hear about the show that they're doing. They just happen to be in the same area as Sarah Lemos and Sapphire and Tim Wood when they did the Ghosts. Let's see, what was it? Ghost Town Terror. So they just happen to be in the same area and happen to run into each other up there. So it's going to be interesting to hear. So as you just heard, Ghosts of Morgan City, Ghosts of Shepherdstown has now got a new rendition, Ghosts of Devil's Perch. And so it's going to be, I can't wait to see what they've done, because I really do like Cindy and Dave. Dave is a really good guy. And welcome, Amanda from England, and hope your son lives someplace nice in Missouri. Nice. I don't have any problems with Missouri. I like going over there a lot. Hey, Susan's in Missouri. So we're waiting on Katy to come in. He got the times mixed up a little bit, so he's getting stuff set up. So he'll be here shortly. Next week at 7 p.m., I have a paranormal photographer, Tim Skillian. He's coming in, and he's going to share a bunch of his pictures and photographs and other things from his books with us. Hey, Dara. And so we're looking forward to seeing that. The bad part is this is the 3rd time I've rescheduled him. He was supposed to be on last year on my birthday, and just didn't happen. We had all kinds of things that have happened that kept me from being able to go live for a while. So like I said, 7th anniversary show. This is a big deal. I think it's my 180th show, I think is where we're at. I'll have to check that out. But if you're listening out there on YouTube, please speak up. Let me know, because I know that I have. Oh, I know where Big Cedar is. It's a haunted location down by Lake of the Ozarks, or Branson area. I think it's Branson area. And hey, Gary. So let me know if where you're listening from. I can see. So hopefully I get some listeners from YouTube, some from the different networks or different Facebook pages that are listening. And if you are watching from my Facebook page, the Denise Pridemore Facebook page, please transfer to one of the other pages, because I can't see your comments without digging into Facebook, and I don't want to lose. I want to pay attention to you asking questions, not me having to find your questions somewhere else. Hello, Evelyn. And it's nice to meet all of you. And let me give you a little background on me so that, since some of you may have not know me personally or never heard me speak, I have been having paranormal experiences for 53 years now. So I have seen a lot. You know what? You might not be able to get into the chat on YouTube yet because I just set it up. So maybe that's what it is. So we'll find, I'll figure it out. So remember, this is the first show. I'll figure out all the ins and outs by next week, I promise. So I've got 53 years of experiences in the paranormal. That does not mean I have 53 years of paranormal experience. I have been having experiences in the paranormal that long. As far as paranormal investigating goes, we've been doing this for well over 10 years at this point. Let me see, what year is it? Oh, it's well over that. Who's we? I have a mouse in the background. Ron is here too, in case you guys hear any comments from the peanut gallery. And my first experience was way back when in, I'm going to go with 1969. So that experience was an out-of-body experience. I witnessed the death of my grandmother. I lived in Paterson, New Jersey. My grandmother was in Baltimore, Maryland, and I witnessed her be killed. And my grandfather called my parents on the phone and said, "Hey, grandma, your mom died." And I had already told them before the phone rang that, that grandma had, not that she died. I said, Grandpa twisted her neck. Okay. I was 4. I didn't know what in the heck I was saying. And now that I'm around a 4-year-old a lot, I kind of wonder how I knew, but I told them that, and they said, "Oh, you don't know anything." And, later on, Grandpa called, said Grandma died, and that was that. I had other paranormal experiences between then and 1975. And well, in 1975, coming up here is the anniversary of that, I had an out-of-body experience where I witnessed my father be murdered. I was about anywhere from 17 to 20 miles away. I was in one part of Maryland, and my dad was in South Baltimore. And I saw him be stabbed to death. I saw him go to the hospital. I saw him in the hospital. I heard his last words. I told them everything. We get up the next morning. I go in the kitchen, and of course I wasn't shocked for some reason. So that should have been the key giveaway to my mom. I was not shocked when I saw my dad's girlfriend sitting at our kitchen table. Long story short, my parents were separated. But I go to them, and I tell Mom everything, from where Dad got stabbed, not specifically that he got stabbed in the liver, but that he got stabbed in the back, and that he was by the refrigerator, blah, blah, blah. I made sure that they knew everything that I knew, and told my mom, I said, Dad said to tell you, Mom, that he loved you and he would never stop loving you. And really, it upset my dad's girlfriend to hear that. And so, no, I did not get molested by my uncle. Thank you. But it was one of those unusual things that I happened to witness, and I told my parents, or told my mom. My mom told me at that point, she goes, "Don't you tell anybody what you witnessed, because if you tell people what you witnessed, you will be chastised. People will want to lock you up for saying that you see spirits, or that you had an out-of-body experience, or any of these things." And so at that point in time, I stopped telling people what I saw. So a couple years later, I go to Gettysburg. I see a bunch of children's spirits. I'm with a whole class of people. a bunch of other 12-year-olds, and I'm having children go, come here. And then of course they're dead. And I can't go. I can't stop them from talking to me, but I can't respond to them. That was when one of my friends realized that that I had that I was having experiences, and my friends, a couple of my friends thought it was great. I'm still friends with them today. So you know, I'm still friends with them today. But it wasn't one of those things that you spent a lot of time telling people about back in the 70s, because, it was taboo for quite a long time. So needless to say, when I met Ron, my husband of way too many years at this point, 38, he didn't know. He had no clue that I could see spirits, that I talked to them, any of that. So just be aware. There are going to be times that I have shows that I might see something and say something to the guest, that we might have paranormal experiences during the show. Sometimes you might want to go back and listen to see if there's any EVPs during the show. It's happened, I don't know how many times. Hey, April and Gary, I'm glad you're out of the hospital. So if you have any questions at all, if I don't know the answer, I'm going to tell you. But you know what? I will actually try to find somebody who can answer that question for you, and I'll have them on the show. If you have any show ideas, please put them in the chat, and I'd be more than willing to entertain them. So this show's for you. It's not for me. Well, I guess in a way it is for me. I like visiting with people and talking about paranormal experiences. I like talking about anything. So it's up to you. What do you want to hear? So hopefully we'll have Katy and Katy on here soon. They one of the things that they have is they have a Katy and Katy are part of the Historical Society in Smithville, Missouri. Oh, that ain't happening, Susan. I am definitely not interviewing Zach Bagans. I don't know if I can handle all the people hating on him, so, but yeah, it'll be, so they operate a bed and breakfast. So be aware, if you're in Smithville, Missouri, there is a bed and breakfast there that's called the Smithville Historical Society. It is the Patterson House, and you can actually stay there. One room is $80, the other one's $100. So you can rent the whole place for $180. I mean, think about that. And if you don't get breakfast, they take some money off. So it works out pretty good. There's a real good Mexican restaurant behind it, but it's haunted by one of Quantrill's raiders. One of the guys Patterson used to be one of the leaders of Quantrill's raiders, and related to Frank James of Frank and Jesse James. As you guys know, the area that we live in, there's a lot of Jesse James lore and all that. So Frank used to shoot, he would shoot off his pistol to start the races up in Smithville. There used to be a huge horse track there. When you go to this place, the museum, it's one room, but it has so much history in it that I wish they had left the room open when we stayed there. We stayed there, what was it? One of our anniversaries, we went and stayed there. And so very quiet. So Smithville, Missouri, check out that if you get a chance. Katy and Katy used to do events there. And they also did events at the Shawnee Indian Mission up in Mission, Kansas. That mission's been around since the late 1600s that I know of. We used to live down the street from there, and I used to see people looking out the windows of this location. And I don't know if the location still cites that it's haunted, but the history is amazing of that place. They're doing events at the Pythian Castle in Springfield, Missouri with PTF, which is Paranormal Task Force. So check out the Pythian Castle. Dara in here in the chat room, she used to be a tour guide there. I was the first person to get scratched at the Pythian Castle that I know of, according to the ladies that own it. And then let's see. Another place that they're doing tours is out in Potosi, Missouri. That's where the prison is. They're not doing tours at the prison, but they're doing tours at a couple of the other, they're overnight investigations and stuff. So they're fun. They also do one up in Richmond, Missouri. Let's see, where else? I could sit here and probably list stuff all day long. They also do something up in Lexington, Missouri. So keep that in mind if you're looking for something in this area. Katy and Katy have something always listed on Supernatural Inc. And so that might be helpful to you if you're looking for something a little bit different in the Kansas City area. So hopefully my guests get here soon, because I'm going to end up running out of stuff to talk about. So, like I said, I just hope all of you are having a great night, and it'll be fun eventually. So, yeah. Oh, and hopefully, hey, Carl, do you think we could go live from out there at Ashmore Estates when we go? Yep, we got a yes on that one. So be aware, June or July 9th, we will be at Ashmore Estates with Bill of Rights Network CEO Carl Albertson, Gary Whitmer, who's in the chat here, Dara, and Caitlin. I don't know if Dara and Caitlin's mom, Lisa, and Grandma Bev are coming. Tim Fry, if you're listening, happy birthday. And Bait is Andy Fry. And let's see, who else? Oh, Beth is coming from the McPike Mansion. If you guys saw the McPike Mansion episode of Ghost Adventures, she was on there with Sharon Ludke, and she was the one that said that she had a paranormal experience there, that the spirit followed her home, and it was causing her to have horrible dreams. So, yep, 20 days till then. So please make sure that you guys save a little bit of time for us to share some of our experiences with you from Ashmore Estates. This will be our third time going. It will be Dara's fourth, Carl and Gary's second. So third. Yeah, you went to Ashmore Estates. It'll be your second. Yeah. So I got scratched there on a day tour. So we already know that there's some things going on. We've got some other things that are going on there that I've got to be careful of there. So there's some shadow figures there. There's quite a few things. I think you guys will find it interesting. I try not to dwell too much on the history or the experiences before we go, because I'd want to be open-minded when I go, so I'm not looking for something. So it'll be good.
It'll be Pastor Gary's first time.
Oh, that's right. Gary didn't make it the first time.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. So it'll be good. We'll have a fun time. So yeah, it was Carl and the other team member of his,
Randy.
So, Randy. Yeah. So, but hopefully my guest is going to be here soon. So tomorrow night I'm looking at finding us a guest for Carl's show, and I think it'll be interesting. I'm trying to get on somebody to talk about aliens. So I hope you guys will enjoy aliens a little bit. But yeah, throw some suggestions out there of what you guys want to see here. People you'd like to have me have on. I know that I have some names from April. She's given me a couple in the past that I hadn't gotten around to. And so it'll be interesting to see what I can come up with. So welcome everyone who's out there listening. Please, questions are welcome. I'm more than willing to listen to them, or even, tell everybody what we need to tell them. Hey, there's Katy. Hey, I'd like to welcome my guest, Katy Stafford, into the chat. If I can get my mouse to work. Here we go.
was getting some weird stuff. Hey, how you doing?
Fine. You were getting some weird stuff.
Yeah, it was. I clicked on the wrong link. You sent me the link for the actual Facebook
Oh,
like thing.
I'm sorry.
That light is so bright, and it's not even really doing much, is it?
Yeah, I
Is that
sent you
okay?
2 links. I sent you 2, so it was the first one, not the second. So make sure
Yeah, I
you.
see that. Thanks.
So,
Thank you.
so will Katie be
It's all
joining
good.
me?
I figured it out eventually.
Yeah, you usually do. You're a pretty smart cookie.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I like to think that's what my mom always told me anyway. So that was a
so
smart cookie.
so yeah. So I know that.
That's weird. Is the light okay?
Well, you're a little dark.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can fix this. I just changed my light. I'm trying to make like a specific place to stream from, and it's like nothing is bright enough. I might have to turn the big light on. Okay, hold on.
You're just like sitting in the
Yeah,
dark.
hold on. No, well, I'm in my basement, obviously, as usual. So
Well,
let's
I mean,
try
I
this.
sit in the dark all day.
That should be better.
So I've told them about the Historical Society in Smithville. I've told them about the fact that you've got a new show coming out.
Yes.
And
Yes, I do.
I told them about some of the places that you guys hold events with Paranormal Task Force and some others. And
yes.
And that I've known you since before you were famous.
Yes.
So we got to talk about that. So I kept them busy for 20 minutes.
You're good. You're good. I can always count on you, Denise.
Well, you know that.
To not only to keep things interesting until I end up being prepared.
I don't know if
eventually.
I kept it interesting.
But also all the stuff, so that helps.
So Ghosts of Devil's Perch.
Yes.
I was
Ghosts
telling
of Devil's
them
Perch.
that that's with you, Dave Schrader, and Cindy Kaza. Or is
Indeed,
it Kaza?
it is.
Is it Kaza or Kaza?
Kaza. I say Kaza a lot too, but I'm working on it, you know.
Well, I
for
did the
me.
same thing to somebody else.
I have a friend named Delano, and I wanted to call him Delano for some reason for the longest time. Austin would get mad at me because it was Austin's friend. I met him through Austin. Austin be like, his name's Delano, man. Bro, I'm sorry. I'm a redneck. I apologize. It's just that the redneck comes out sometimes.
It may not be. It just may be the way that it looks, that phonetically speaking, that's what it looks like.
Well, yeah, I mean, usually the way that, anything with, the LANO is normally Lano and not Lano. Lano is a long A, so would you, anyways.
Yeah, we know we both got the same thing going on.
Anyhow.
So how did that come about?
The show? Hold on, what were we talking about?
So how did the show Ghosts of Devil's Perch come about?
Yes. Okay. So it's basically a continuation of the Ghost of Town series. I don't know really like if there's an official title for the series as a whole. I think they kind of like each series is like a standalone, kind of like the Mad Max anthology, supposedly according to Frank Miller, like, none of the Mad Maxes take place in a specific order. Like, obviously Mad Max is the first one, but everything is like the same but separate, in the same universe but separate, right? Different story. And I think this is kind of the same way. It's like, it's the same concept but just a different place. And well, this time it was actually every town, it's been different people, sort of, I mean, with the exception of me, but I had a small role in the last season. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, so I had a small role in the last season. It was relatively small. I think I was in 4. It was either 4 or 5 episodes. I'm thinking 4. Katy swears up and down it's 5. I honestly can't. I don't know. I can't remember. But I know I was in like 3 out of 4 of those. I was only in part of the episode. I'd just show up for the investigation. And then the season finale, I was there for like the whole, um, you know, episode. And Katy was actually in it too. She because we had the what was it called again? It was it's the celebration that they do in Louisiana.
Oh, Mardi Gras.
Well, no, not Mardi Gras. It's for
Oh,
the funeral.
that crawfish festival that they had, right?
Well, no, it's for the funeral. Well, that's like part of the festivities, but it's a funeral. It's like a wake type deal. It's where they march.
Okay.
It's a funeral march, a procession.
Oh, so that was the last show, right?
That was the last episode because that's what we did as a like a peace offering to the spirits to put them at rest and everything for the whole town after we, after they did the majority of the work in that season. Ben, Jeremy, and Sarah. I was kind of just the technical backup and stuff, but I did have a few moments though, and a couple of those investigations, and I guess they liked that, so they decided to bring me on like full time this time, and so now I'm main cast in this season.
I do have to say, I did like Shane though. Shane Pittman was great.
Well, this is a different show.
Right.
This is not the same show. A lot of people are going to think that. A lot of people are going to automatically think that because it's Dave and Cindy, but it's not the same show.
Right.
And
I liked him though on the Holzer Files.
Well, yeah. Shane's. I've talked to Shane a couple times. He's a good guy. He's from Georgia. He's from Georgia, so he's my people. So
yeah, I've talked to him.
Southern people.
Yeah, I've had him on my show. I've talked to him personally a few times. Like I said, I really liked him.
I've never sat down and talked to him. Like there was one time where, like, he was planning to Nancy Kerrigan me to take my spot, and I foiled him and Dave's plans.
Mm.
And
that's different. So
that's a joke because this is just a little.
I was gonna say that's not his style.
They'll know what I'm talking about whenever if they see this and hear that, then they'll know what I mean. It was funny. So anyway, Shane seems like a good guy. I don't really know him that well. Dave, me and Dave got to be pretty good friends, and me and Cindy got to be really good friends. And Cindy,
you had to have if she came up to Atchison.
Oh yeah. That was kind of her idea too. That wasn't.
I didn't get to meet her.
I'm not very good at organizing events. Katy does, but like she suggested that to Katy because I did tell Cindy while we were working together, hey, we do the occasional event, and but we used to, but most times now we're just like I just show up as a guest or whatever. Just because I have too many other things to do, it's too much to add on trying to plan and organize and like coordinate and with people for an event. Like I'm just not. My brain doesn't allow me to work that way. That's why I can never work in an office. So yeah. But anyway, Cindy's great. Yeah, Cindy came down to Atchison. You got to meet Cindy.
I did not.
You didn't get it. Oh, you came the second night. Oh.
Yes, I came the second night. I got to.
If only you had shown up earlier in the day. She was there.
Well,
because she did a gallery reading that day.
Well, we were being respectful.
Oh, you could have just said, "Hey,
next time I will."
Early.
Next time you guys invite me,
I would have come 100% completely assumed you would have because that would. I mean,
see, I didn't.
Hey, you! I see you meandering around back there.
What's up, Katy?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, thanks again for inviting us up there. That was fun.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. Yes, I like for you. It's good for especially Denise here. I mean, you're cool to hang out with, but Denise knows everything. She knows she's kind of up there with Katy on my schedule, so she's a big help.
Yep.
Well, it helped that also
that was fun.
I knew the history of Atchison when we were up
and
there.
That too. Yes, that was very helpful because, like who was it? It was her name was Cygnus. Yeah, she was there both nights. I think they did the Glore Museum too, and
they're the ones that went and stayed at the Sally House the next night. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I think you talked to her too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think she got a lot of good info from you. So yeah, you're pretty helpful. You're pretty helpful. I'll give you
Well,
that.
you figure I did it for 7 years. I should know the history up there. I mean, I probably have forgotten more Atchison history than I even talked about. But
right.
Again, that was only the second time we'd been up there since 2017.
Yeah. Should I lower that camera? You think that camera is too high, or should
no?
it be
It's up to you. However you want it.
I mean, you know what I mean? Does that look like it's just sitting up too high? Because it's like my head's like half the screen.
Well, you
I
can
feel like
move
I should take up a third.
You can move it if you want, but eventually, isn't Katy going to be sitting there with you?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, I think I'll still have to lower it though. You know what I mean? I just need to bring it down a hair, I think.
Well, hopefully, eventually, I have a green screen and you guys won't see the rest of my room.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Now that I got this side of my room, like that wall cleared off. There's posters are there, but I'm gonna have a green screen like rolled up at the top, and that way I can just drop it when I want to use it. I
have a very nice one.
I don't have. Here. I mean, they're only like $20 on Amazon. I just haven't bought one.
You can get one for $5 at Walmart in the green fabric department.
Oh, that's true. I guess.
But I have this very.
Well, they
nice
have the one with the stands and it's got like the rack and everything for like $20, and it's got like the Velcro and all that stuff.
Yeah, this is mine. It's 6 foot by 6 foot by 5 foot.
Okay.
And it's in this little bag.
Cool.
It just doesn't fit where I want it to fit. You can still see the wall. So it's like, But I have this lovely picture that I want to put up. It's a picture from the Pythian Castle. Oh, yeah. From way back when, before the ladies bought it. And it's of the gate.
That would be Miss Tamara.
Yeah, Tamara and her mom. And like I said, I've always just called them the ladies.
And her sister. It's her sister too, Cindy.
Yeah. Cindy's a tour guide.
I think her sister's name's Cindy too, isn't it? The tall.
Well, Dara will correct you because she's in the chat room. She used to be a tour guide at the Pythian Castle.
I thought that was Tamara's. Oh, Tamara. I thought that was. I thought that was her sister. Is that not right? I know Beth. I know Beth. I know, and she's a new tour guide.
I haven't been down there in a little while.
I think that's her name, Beth. Mary Beth is the new tour guide. Yes, she actually bought a leg box from me. Yeah.
The last time I was there.
I'm sorry. I thought Cindy was her sister.
Cindy's the tour is one of the tour guides, and she was actually on Ghost Adventures for the. She was one of the she was on Ghost Adventures for the fact that her brother committed suicide after their Terry.
Yeah, I know.
Terry is her sister.
Who?
Terry.
That's
what Dara says. No, Terry.
Yes, Terry. I'm sorry. I go down there all the time. I'm down there like at least once a year.
Have you met the Whippets?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, her mom.
I don't think Tamara still doesn't like me though. I'm pretty sure she doesn't like me still. I don't know why.
She got mad.
She never remembers me ever. I'll pull up to the gate and like no matter what, like I'll pull up to the gate every time we do an event there. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I think it's funny. But I'll pull up to the gate and it's usually about the time when she's getting down there to start letting people in, they have the chain gate up right there. And so I'll pull up and I roll my window down and she comes over. She's like, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "I'm KD." She's like, "Yeah, okay. Can I help you?" And I'm like, "Tamara, it's me, KD. I'm with PTF. I did the TV show. I did some drones." She's like, "Oh, okay. All right. We'll go in. Go ahead."
Yeah. So
she's like, "Oh, what do you want me to do? Get out and take it."
One time,
I'm sure she doesn't mean anything by it. She's just
she gets scatterbrained sometimes.
Yeah.
And she's
thinking about what she's doing.
She's very in control. We went the very first time. Not the first time. Second time we went, or third. It was the third time we went. We went and there was we were invited to come down, and we were there with the Pickmans. And both Tony and I got attacked at the same time in different areas. And she said, I don't think I want the people from the Sally house here anymore. The time before that, I had been attacked there before I ever met the Pickmans. So it's just the way that, you know, things happen down there. And then the last time we went, we were invited to come down because we had this, we actually had this woman or these two women that came that were, they were high on, they were heroin addicts. They were high.
Damn.
And we didn't want, you know, PTF didn't want.
I've never heard it. Well, I mean, I've
know.
heard of chasing the dragon. I think that's what that's called. I didn't know it was chasing ghosts.
Well, they
maybe
came
the ghost
in,
dragon.
And so basically I kept them occupied and away from everybody. And so when that happened, you know, Greg goes, Denise, I'm going to invite you guys back down at another time so when you don't have to babysit.
How did you know they were high on heroin?
Because of the way that they were acting.
I mean, like, how do people on heroin act? I don't know. I mean, I'm just asking.
I don't know how I knew, but again,
there's just so many drugs out there nowadays.
You have to remember,
no
I know things I'm not
just
supposed
most people
to know.
that do heroin, I don't think like go out and do social activities. Generally speaking,
no.
I'm just saying. They were. I'm not. I don't doubt they were probably high on something. And I don't know anything about heroin. I don't think I've ever even known anybody that's like done it.
I was told it was heroin.
I mean, do they have like track marks and stuff? I don't know. Like,
I don't. So when I say I was
anyways,
told,
go ahead.
I hate to say this, but I was told by something that they were high on heroin. And Ron kept them
high on heroin or whatever else. I guess it, you know.
Yeah. Ron went off with some other, with Dara and Caitlin and them, and I tried to keep these people separated from everybody else. And when it came time to eat, you know, at midnight when we all go to eat pizza and stuff, I got, you know, got away from them and they left and never came back. So we lucked out. We at least got that. There was another time we went and this guy was filming the whole time. Okay. I don't know. I forgot his name. I'm friends with him on Facebook. Dara's going to probably tell me his name, but he filmed us the entire time that we were there, it seemed like. And he actually captured that I got scratched and some other things on video. And that was the first time we went. That's actually when we met Dara and Caitlin. And
was that was at the Pythian?
Yep. I have a lot of stories from the Pythian. I've been there quite a few times. And like I said, I know that at some point Greg will probably send me a message and say, hey, come back.
I think we're going, I want to say July 30th. I want to say it's July 30th. We'll be there.
The house in Kansas.
Is it July 30th? No, it ain't July 30th because maybe it is.
That's a Saturday.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is July 30th.
Yeah, July 30th. We're doing an investigation in Hamilton, Missouri, or Gallatin. We're doing it with Carl and them. It's a giveaway for a veteran.
Oh, Carl.
Yeah.
Yes, I was like Carl. I know. I just know a few Carls now. I get my Carls mixed
I know
up.
Carl in Missouri.
Okay.
Nathan Galler. I told you there.
Yeah. Nathan Galler. Yeah. That's yes.
St. Louis.
Yes, I know of Nathan Galler. I feel like I know Nathan. Dude, it's been so long since I've seen anybody because there hasn't been a lot of, I haven't been doing many events or anything, you know? And so, yeah, it's been so long. The only people I see anymore are people when I go to like Ohio. I see everybody I know in Ohio. So, but yeah, Nathan got that.
When are you going to? Don't you have an event in Ohio?
Yeah, like July, like the first, is it the first week or second week of July? I don't know. I have to look.
I know. Like I said, I'll find it.
See.
Probably. So.
I wish.
I know you've got a bunch of stuff coming up.
I do.
Are you working on any new projects?
Not really. I'm just still working on all the helmet stuff, and you know, I'll have a little little spurt of ghost box sales here and there, and that kind of keeps me busy. But I mean, I'm really just kind of I'm working on stuff. I don't want to talk about too much of it right this second.
Right.
But there's you know, I'm just waiting on this TV show to really get announced. I've been working on like I've got a fan page that I'll be posting as soon as like there's an official picture or some sort of like you know, like full announcement, because right now it's just a blurb and a article on, you know, from Travel Channel or Discovery Plus, discovery.com or whatever.
Yeah, because I haven't seen a actual date for it yet.
No, and there's no team pictures or anything up, because it has this classified as a new show, as a new series. So you know, it is. That's. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it, but I get it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing your event. All I'm seeing is
it's hold on.
So, like I said, I will find it eventually.
All you gotta do is go to the UGPN.
Here we go. Let's see if this is it. So I just know I want to make sure that everybody gets the right dates.
All right, so it's this one right here. It's July 15th and 16th. That's it. It was the second week of July. That's what I meant. Ghost Hunt number 2, the Technomancers, Order of the Technomancers. This is Austin's thing he made. Order of the Technomancers, Ghost Hunt number 2, Weekend Camp Out. I'll share this to you. That way you can.
Perfect. So,
Yep.
So needless to say, I'd like to hear. I can't wait to hear or see the show, to see how it all goes, and to see what equipment that they use, of yours, of course. And I've seen some of your equipment on Portals to Hell, or a piece of it that I know of. Recently in the one where they
the ink box.
Theater. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, they've been using the ink box a pretty good bit. Yeah, Katie's got actually those clips are on like YouTube. I don't know how I mean, as long as you just share it. Like, are you streaming this on Facebook or what?
I'm streaming it on YouTube and Facebook. And
I mean, you
Twitter.
can, well, is you know, with the copyright free or free usage act or whatever, you can use like you can like put the video on and like just pause it and just watch like a certain little bit of it, and it'll be okay as long as we're providing commentary on it. It's if you look up, let's see, I'll find you the link.
Yeah, tell me. I'll share anything I can.
Let's see. I think it was. I don't know. Let's see if it was this one.
I'm going back into the black, out of here. I will gladly get up.
Oh yeah, hold on. All right, so let me get the timestamp and everything.
Talk to me for.
Katrina's like.
Okay, so.
Hey, Judy, if you're still listening, go to the Paranormal Pride page and comment there, because I cannot see comments from my own page. So go there. And
I can't see any comments.
Yeah, all of them should be showing up over here on the side for you. If you need to see them, it's you just click on comments.
If anybody has a question, just fire. Just if you don't,
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Bam! There it is.
So let me see if I can get this up.
Hello, Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment. Was that right?
Sorry.
Yeah, like 3 minutes. If you go to like 3 minutes,
Let me.
that's where she starts the ghost box session.
Let me mute this for 1 second.
Yeah,
so
just
you guys
mute
don't
it
hear
until you get to like yeah. Hello, Rosie. I can see now. Are you talking to me, Judy? If you are, I love you too.
She's my sister.
Oh, okay.
She's
So
telling
I guess she's
me.
probably talking to you. I figured
Yes,
so.
probably.
Nobody ever
So,
tells me I love
let
you to
me
me.
see if I can share this.
Personal feelings, but it's
Share.
okay.
Share
It's okay.
screen. Come on. So here we go. Maybe.
Boom.
There we
Look at
go. And here we
Then
go,
blow it up
everybody.
to a full screen. Can you blow it up? Like click the one on the far right of the bottom of the screen there. Yeah. All right. Yeah. About 3 minutes, I think.
Okay. So for those of you who are out there knowing this is on YouTube, I'm just going to play this part of it. And this is from Portals to Hell, a recent episode. So here we go.
And we'll pause it too at the
Screen is like freaking.
All right, yeah. So pause it. Okay, so yeah, she was there's this room they felt uneasy about, basically. I'm gonna sum it up. And so they went to do a ghost box session in the room, and she's gonna be using the ink box. So all right, go ahead.
Okay. You can talk to me through this device right here, okay? So let's try that.
Pause it. Yep, see, there it is. That's the ink box, and that's the one. That one's got it's got all the reverb. Oh, it's not reverb, it's like a delay function on it and everything. And yeah, I made that. I built that one for them when I was actually in Montana filming for Ghosts of Devil's Perch. All right, so go ahead.
I think it said get out of here. I will gladly get out of here.
Now
Right,
pause
what do
it.
I have to do to get a job here? I don't want to get killed.
Okay, so it's I feel like they might have missed a couple things that were said there that might provide a little context. So if you go back like 5 seconds. All right, now hit play.
All right, what do I have to do to get a job here?
Okay.
I don't want to get
Never
killed
mind.
like that other
It's
girl.
a little bit further back. Go back like 10 seconds. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think it said get out of here. I will gladly get out of here.
Say when.
Yeah.
And then it said whore.
All right, what do
Yeah,
I
I
have to
heard
do to get a
that
job
actually.
here? I don't want to get
I don't
killed
know if they
like
didn't
that other
include
girl.
that because of, the nature of the word, but
Weird. I heard about just being
yeah, that was pretty clear too.
that. Did that really happen? What year did that happen? What year did that woman
This
get
one.
killed? 58.
Yeah, that's close.
Yeah, pause it.
Number just came.
Yeah, so that's crazy, right?
Mhm.
So like to ask for a number, to ask for like, how many are here or whatever, or something like that. That's, I feel like it's not completely like a loaded question, but it's kind of a loaded question because it's like a vague question where you could get kind of any number, right? But like to get a 58 and it was kind of valid to the situation and everything. That was like a double digit number. This whatever it was apparently still believes that they're in the same century. And I just found that to be really interesting. So anyway, you go ahead.
Girl.
And then the birds.
That's kind of interesting. A bunch of birds.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too.
Yeah, listen to that one more time.
That's kind of interesting. A bunch of birds just came through chirping.
About 5 seconds, yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
That came through the box.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that?
That's kind of interesting. A bunch of birds just came through chirping. I feel like energy.
And then to pause it. Now it said the birds right after that.
Right.
Right when she started talking, it
Yeah.
said the birds.
Yeah, I saw that.
And yeah, but they, I mean, I don't know if they caught it or if they didn't or whatever, but that's another interesting little validation of the bird sounds too. But
Do you
anyway,
do you watch shows and hear stuff that they don't hear all the time?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah,
'Cause
I've kind of trained myself to hear, things. A lot of times I'll hear things that nobody else hears, but the weird thing is when I do hear things that nobody else hears and it didn't get caught on a recording,
Mhm.
like
Yep.
of the session.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't picked up by the audio and nobody else heard what I heard, like what I heard will be valid.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like I heard something, and I think that some people have that other psychic ability that just like I usually talk about that's gone unnoticed till recently, till the digital age. That's some people are more naturally inclined to perceive or hear or capture messages from beyond that are transmitted via electronics.
Right. Because I tell you, because I hardly ever hear stuff that people say I'm supposed to be hearing. So
Well,
if
I mean, I don't ever say you're supposed to hear this. I just say what
No.
I hear. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I don't like to pre-suggest, or to suggest things to people, but obviously it's hard not to when it's a video, but kind of
Right.
have to put up what you think it said. But anyway.
Like one of the things that I tell people is if you re-listen to the show, sometimes if you put on the text, other things will come through that text that we didn't say. So
Right.
you might pick up an actual EVP without even knowing it's there because the text is showing you, hey, somebody said this and you're not seeing that person anywhere. Because I've had people
Right.
contact me and say, I heard it say this. Was there somebody else in the room? And
Yeah.
I go, well, Ron, and they go and they listen to it and they go, no, it's a woman. It's not Ron. So,
Right.
Hey,
If you play the show
But
back,
anyway.
you'll hear satanic messages too.
Right.
David,
Yeah, it actually plays Stairway to Heaven if you play it backwards.
David, I shared this on my Facebook page, and my Facebook page is not showing me comments. So people have to
Make them up.
yeah, I have to make them up as I go along. But no,
Okay.
I won't be sharing on my personal page anymore. So that was a boo-boo on my part.
Whoa. What was that?
And then that evil laugh. Yeah, that was pretty crazy sounding.
It's funny that it's calling it out as an evil laugh.
Right. Well, I mean, because it was like a sinister. I think sinister laugh would have probably been a little more accurate. But I mean, evil, sinister. Hey, it is what it is, right? Like,
Yeah.
like I'm about to mess you up, dog. Anyway,
There
so
you go.
yeah,
Thank you,
that's a
Travel
good
Channel.
example. But yeah, they I'm happy that they're happy with it, and
Well, as long as they're happy with it. Because I told them at the beginning of the show that you also created something for Jack Osborne.
Hey, there's Catherine. Hey, I got to get your heads. Unless you want to, you can sit here and talk and use the headset, my headset, for a few minutes.
Well, I'm sure they could probably hear me if I'm sitting next
Yeah, but
to
you can't hear anything they're saying. So
Oh,
what?
yeah,
So
no,
I'll
I
just
can't.
let you use my headset, and I'll get the other headset, and I'll hook it up. All right?
You,
Use sign
want to
language.
hook up a speaker?
No, I have another headset.
Oh, okay.
Yes, April, I see your comments. So I see everything
There's
except
Judy.
anything on my personal Facebook page.
Look, she hadn't done a show this year, and look at everybody showing up.
Hey there, Katy. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
Fine. How'd your
I'm
meeting go?
It went well. It went exceptionally well. I'm so glad because we just had Founders Day over the weekend, and we had reenactors from Shoal Creek Living History Museum come out,
Oh, good.
and they sang and they did a little skit, and the skit was veered towards the history of our Founders Day. So, hi Judy, how are you, Mrs. Myers? But yeah, it went really good, and the Historical Society just published another book, and the book sales went great, and just recording and preserving a lot of history. That's what I do, and well, one of the things I do,
Yeah.
other than paranormal things, right?
She juggles. Katy
I
Katy
do.
juggles.
I do.
So,
I
did you have
try.
any near misses on the way home?
Traffic was real light, and I will tell you, hi Gary, how are you? So traffic was real light, and there was a couple of speed traps. Yeah,
I
that
still told
gunning
you to be
people.
safe on the way home. I don't know why I told you that, but I just
Yeah.
told you. So
Yeah, I was well, hold up. Are you having like some kind of some psychic thing going on here?
every once in a while I do. Do I right now? I don't know. And Judy's my sister that you said
Hi
hi
Judy.
to.
Hi.
April in the chat, you'll see her. She's my cousin. So
I
we
was
have
trying to find the
lots
chat on
of
here.
and David is my paranormal kid, which I told you that. And so is Dara.
Yep.
So I have this huge paranormal family in this chat room right now.
And
Oh,
Caitlin,
that's awesome.
So
my other daughter,
Yeah.
Caitlin's on there.
yeah,
And
Dara and Caitlin.
Okay, I
Happy
see.
Father's Day.
Yeah, they're the only two. My real one.
They did tell you. They sent a message to me to tell their dad Happy
Yeah.
Father's Day. They said, "Tell my real dad Happy Father's Day."
They're still trying to figure this thing called a telephone out. You know,
Really?
it's very tricky.
Well, you know what? As we get older, I did message my dad, but it was late at night and he was probably sleeping when I messaged him. So yeah, I didn't forget. I mean,
We were busy with the Founders Day.
well, not on Sunday, but I did post a video of my dad
I saw
and
that.
my husband for Father's Day. So, and for some reason I was like, oh, well, that's probably good enough. And I was like, no, let me text them, even though it was like 10 o'clock at night. But yeah. So, but
It is what it is. So we were talking to Katy about some of the events you guys have coming up. And he talked about the one in July, the
Defiance, Ohio.
Yeah, that one. He talked about
the camp out.
Mm-hmm.
The camp out.
Yep.
Huh?
Talked about that one. I know you guys are going to the Pythian Castle in July.
Yes.
When is that?
Okay, so the Pythian Castle will be with PTF, and unfortunately, those tickets have sold out. But sometimes some people will cancel. I don't know. And then the next one will be, I believe, in July. And then I could give you the date for the Pythian Castle, July 30th. It's a Saturday. And then, so Ashmore Estates, there's an investigation there on Saturday, September 3rd. Let me double. Yep. September 3rd at Ashmore Estates. And that is on Labor Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there are a few tickets left for that as well. If anybody wants to check out just Paranormal Task Force, on Facebook, you can purchase your tickets there. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe I may have shared that on our Supernatural Inc. page. And it will also be on our website at supernaturalinc.paranormal.com. And then there is a Potosi event. Actually, let me kind of go in order here. So there is also September 10th is another investigation it's not in Bryan, Ohio. It is in Ohio, and that event is called, I have it right here. I could actually, so I don't know if any of you guys know Brandy Marie, psychic medium Brandy Marie.
Mhm.
I had asked her if she could come to that event, and she said she would be coming. And I love her. I've known her, for how long? For a long time we've known Brandy Marie. 16, 17. No, it was before.
We met her when we went to Austin's event.
No. It was when we were in at
we met
the
her
Paranormal Cafe.
Yeah, so, okay, you're right. That was
Yeah.
2016.
Where does she
Yeah.
live?
Hey, you're right.
She lives in Michigan.
Michigan. Okay.
Yeah, she's with Detroit Paranormal Expeditions. Well, I believe she's on that team. I know that she's does a lot of investigations with them, but she also has a show coming out with Jeremy Leonard. I don't know what the show is called. And I
Neither
believe,
is Katy.
yeah, I don't know what the show is called, and I believe it's going to air on Netflix. But Brandy Marie has been in Fright Club seasons 1 and 2. She is a phenomenal psychic medium. I adore her. So she will be there along with Underground Paranormal Network with their team members, and also I believe one of the Ghost Sisters will be there helping out. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Ghost Sisters.
Yeah, I have.
I think Jennifer's going to be there, and then also you have the other team. I always forget. It's Eric and his wife Becky.
Creepy Cincinnati Paraforensics.
That's it. Creepy. What?
Creepy Cincinnati.
Creepy Cincinnati. Paraforensics, I think. But anyways, yeah, a lot of great.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. There's going to be several different teams there. We love working with other teams, because everybody has their own way of researching, and their own techniques.
Yep.
And in theory, everything's theoretical, and their technique works for them, whereas my techniques work for myself, and then my techniques might work for them. So, but I enjoy seeing these people are producing evidence and research that are breaking those boundaries, and I find it very fascinating some of the evidence all these teams capture, and being able to coincide that even with some of the history and everything of the location. It's just it fascinates me. It does. What can I say?
Thank you, David. We all love the sarcasm. If it wasn't for sarcasm, I'd have nothing to say at all. So
can she see that?
Yeah,
You see
Yeah,
that?
nope.
Okay.
I know everything. No theories here.
Yep.
I always say theory.
yeah.
It's a theory, David. I'm gonna brainwash you. It's the theories.
Yeah.
Hey, have you guys heard about these purple street lamps? There's a theory for you. Y'all have fun with that one.
Purple street lamps. We
Yes,
don't even have
ma'am.
one. Ours blew
Well-
out. We don't have a street lamp here. It's dark.
Well, you better hope they don't put in a purple street lamp.
What's
I
that?
don't know.
Never heard
I'm
of
not
it.
quite.
It's probably
I'm not-
5G.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. The funny thing is some of these they say that it is a defect in the light itself, and it's a black light.
Oh, man.
And I know color theory, and I do know that various different lights, very different colors of the light spectrum, and those colors in that light spectrum produce different sound frequency. Okay. Also, some light bounces off, and some other different variations in the light spectrum absorb differently than other lights. So I'm not quite sure. They say that it was a manufacturer's defect in these purple street lamps.
Well, apparently
Yeah,
it's
we're
happening
looking at
in.
picture. It doesn't put out good light either.
No, it's
Thank
hard to
you.
look at.
Horrible light.
It's like, when people put the purple lights or the blue lights
Yeah,
on their
on their
house at
car.
Christmas time,
That's
and you're
right.
looking at it and you're
Yeah.
going, God, that hurts.
Yeah,
I'm getting a
it's-
headache from that. And you can't look at their houses because of that light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you
these
can't
are
focus
actually
on it.
right. And these are black lights. So, you know what, y'all, if y'all just got done doing the hanky panky, don't go under any of these black lights.
We're going to be able to see it.
be some Clinton stuff going on. Might see that.
Oh, yeah, I don't have to
you
worry
know.
about that.
I just figured I'd
We've
just
been
throw
married
that
for
out
38 years. There's nothing to worry about.
there. Oh my gosh. So,
Of course,
so
you saw us together. You're going,
I had to look up hanky panky, but
you've seen us together, so
Wait.
you know we're together all the time.
yeah. Well,
you're
the
right.
first time I had met your husband was at the McIntyre Villa.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
let me tell you, you two are perfect for each other. Let me tell you, you guys are so great. Just it was such a joy researching with both of you. And I hope we can all get together again at some point. David Glinton, I'm not going to talk to you about nothing, sir. But anywho,
But we
you should have
missed you.
came.
I did miss him.
I did too. Yeah, I did too. But I understand though. I'm just giving you a hard time. Ron has
Has to read romance novels, no pictures.
No pictures. Oh my gosh.
Okay, saying that,
Need
okay.
instructions.
I was at my daughter's the other night and I was walking the dog. It was 1:00 in the morning. Okay. And in one of the apartments, they had the windows wide open and not for air, but they just had their blinds up and stuff. And I'm walking by and it's on the first floor apartment, so you can see in with the lights on. They were watching porn. I'm like, you're on a first floor apartment. What are the odds of somebody walking a dog at night that might see it?
Pretty
Yeah.
good now.
Yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
people aren't going anywhere. They're staying home even for that. So, come on,
Yeah,
people, close your blinds.
And they're not even charging. Shame on them.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
saying. That's like free porn.
Yeah. And the bad thing is it was lost on me because it was like, okay, I'm out of here. All I wanted to do was walk the dog and go home,
And not want to have to be and see that.
Right. And the thing is it could have been during the day and kids could have been out.
That's, I was thinking that same thing. And, did they have the volume like all the way turned up too? So, I mean,
I didn't hear anything.
oh, thank God. That would,
But
I
when
would not,
left my
I would
daughter's
have been
house,
like, I would have been like peering in their window. I would have been like looking. I'd be like, is this what you want? Is this what you want? You want people to be peep-a-tomming on you?
we can tell you something that, there have been people who have been peeped on that have been murdered, so you better watch out.
Oh my God.
Velisca Axe
That's
murder
true.
house.
That is true. That is
At least that's the theory there.
But that's not theory. That's happened to people.
No, I mean, but at the Velisca Axe murder house, that was theory.
Oh, the Velisca Axe murder house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've never been there, have you?
Oh, yes, I have. And so I actually went with Stephanie O'Reilly, who owns the McIntyre Villa. It was just me and her. And she had been like several other times prior to us going. I'm like, well, why are we going if you've been here several times? She's like, well, I never really captured anything there. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, then I'm bringing my work with me then. So I brought a box of, historical research. I'm trying to organize everything because I'm looking up the meaning of Totolope, but that's a whole different story. But anywho, so I'm trying to look through all my archives of stuff. And so she's like, I got to get caught up on my calendar, work and bookings and stuff like that. And I like 11:59. The only reason why I remember these times is because the motion detector went off, and me and Stephanie are sitting there. We had to turn off the air conditioner because that was kind of bugging us.
Mhm.
So we unplugged the air conditioner because it, the condensation would leak, and it kept making like a plopping sound. It was irritating us, and plus it was loud. So we cut it off, and we didn't really need it on anyways. And the motion detector went off, and then the equipment upstairs all started going off. And then Stephanie is like, "What's happening?" I said, just stop for 1 second. And she says, "Why everything's going off upstairs?" And you can hear it sounded like tapping. And then it kept getting louder and louder. And she goes, "Come on, man, let's go. There's something happening up there." It's like, no. Just give it a few minutes. That's what it wants. Because the whole time we didn't bust in there and say, "Yo, anybody here?" No, that's not what we did. We went in, minding our own business. We're doing our work. We had dinner together, sat there, and we're just minding our own business. And we were just sitting there reading and working, and all this activity at 12:03. I waited until 12:03. I keep looking at my hand like I have a watch on, but I was looking at my phone. And I was like, "Not yet, Stephanie." She goes, come on, let's go." And I was like, not yet. 1 more minute. And I was like, I'm waiting for one other device to go off upstairs. When it goes off, I'll go up there. And it was our MAD. And it's a motion anomaly detector. And as soon as I got that out of my mouth, that sucker went off. And it's like, womp, 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 womp. And I was like, now we can go. And I look at my clock. I jot down 12:03, walk upstairs. As soon as we walked up there, it was like, just like, it was like the air just seemed like it got sucked out of the room as soon as we walked upstairs. And I also went on live on Facebook, and I was talking to the dad through a flashlight, and very direct responses through the flashlight. It would shut off and it would not blink. It would shut off completely and turn on completely. Very direct responses. And I think what a lot of people don't recognize is that those deaths occurred actually. I'm not getting all biblical or religious or whatever on anybody, but this ties in. So that night, when the family got killed that night, they walked home from church because they had a church together. Well, that church party together thing was the 40th day of, the rising of Jesus into heaven, the ascending of Jesus into heaven, after the 40 days. So he was in hell for 3 days, and then he roamed the earth for 40 days. After he went through hell for 3 days, and 40 days he roamed the earth. And he did bring back others with him, and they, all roamed from. It's all biblical, it's all in the book, whatever. And I just find that kind of odd that nobody has ever pointed that out, that they were all murdered on the 40th day.
On the Ascension.
Yes. So when you want to look into the occult or satanic things, this goes beyond that. That this is well above those people's heads. Whatever happened with that family. And
the thing is, it's not just that family. What about all the other families that this guy killed? 4 days before, in Paola, Kansas, killed a husband and wife. Just down the street from here.
It's weird, the timing of things. And, I've said things to people and they're like, well, maybe it's just a coincidence. Well, Miss Katy, I don't believe in coincidences. I don't. I look for signs. I'm into numerology. I know all about numerology. I look for signs all over because they're there in front of us. You just got to pay attention.
Yeah.
And
just to give you a heads up, his uncle was the sheriff in the investigation of the Villisca Axe murders.
Really?
It was a family kind of not secret, but
great uncle.
But we went there for one of the family reunions up there in
the first time
in Stanton, Iowa. And I asked Ron, I go, we're driving up there. I said, boy, I really wish we were near Villisca. I'd like to stop by there. And we turn at Clarinda. And you've been up there, so you've seen the sign that says that it's 9 miles.
Yes.
When you turn off from Clarinda.
She asked me, she goes, where's Villisca? I said, I don't know. I think it's like northern part of Iowa. And I mean, no sooner than I said that, there's a sign that says Villisca 9 miles. I said, was that right? I said, did it really say Villisca? She goes, it did. And I said, well, we got to stop now.
Yeah, because he figured that his cousins would have said something along those lines, saying, hey,
all the time trying to scare each other.
Scare each other. You would have figured that they would have went and one of the trips up there. Nope.
Nothing.
So we go the very first time and we drive by, and I had a BlackBerry phone. Okay. That tells you how long ago this was.
Unfortunately, you can't use that anymore, honey. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I took a picture and it caught a lightning bug. Okay. This lightning bug going through there. I showed it to people all the time. They tell me, oh, it's a vortex. No, it's a lightning bug. But
it's a cool picture.
It's a cool picture. So, but I show it to the family. Ron's mom goes, Ron, we got to talk about this.
I went, what?
And I'm like, shit, not again.
I'm like, talk about what?
Every time I find something out about his family, it becomes, we have to talk. Because I had found out that his dad had been married before too.
Get out the tequila.
Yeah, by accident at an apple festival. So that tells you it's just meant to be. So his mom goes, yeah, she goes, you remember Grandma Jackson, the Jackson who married a Jackson? Well, her brother was the sheriff in that investigation. I was like, great. So at this point now, his entire family has gone up there and been to the Villisca Axe Murder House since we went.
So, with that being said, so I supposedly I really think I was talking to the dad, and I think that he faked his own death, to be honest with you.
There are a lot of people that theorize that, but I will tell you, every time we go, I get pissy.
Oh, jeez.
Pissy for about 2 weeks, and I think I'm channeling the mother.
Maybe because there's no way that they wouldn't have been able to smell the cigarette smoke. Just saying, because
unless they smoked themselves,
right?
If they smoked themselves, they wouldn't have smelled it.
Right.
That's true.
But the other thing that I found, another thing that's happened when we were up there, one time we were in the children's room. Ron has the Echo Box out and he's asking questions and they're answering on the Echo Box. I'm also answering some of the questions and the Echo Box is saying what I'm saying. Okay. So we asked them what their favorite toys were.
Mm-hmm.
And we got different answers from the different kids. And one of them kept saying monkey.
Right.
Okay. We're looking all around the room. There's not a monkey there. We open up the attic door and we look in there and there's a monkey in there.
There is a monkey in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I go down and I tell Johnny, I said, the kids want their monkey.
Yeah. They want it back in their room.
Downstairs.
And,
they wanted it downstairs.
Upstairs in the children's room.
Yeah.
Okay. But did they want it from upstairs brought downstairs? Or?
No, they wanted it brought from the attic into the kids' bedroom.
Yeah, upstairs.
Yeah,
somebody had moved.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah, and Johnny's like, Denise, every time you come, I find out something different. And so, and for those of you listening, Johnny Hauser used to be the tour guide at the Villisca Axe Murder House.
I know John Hauser. Yeah,
I love Johnny.
Yeah.
He's not.
What you want to hear? What's funny
Well,
is every time he shows this picture of when he was his biggest, he shows a picture of me and him. Because I happen to have a picture taken of us, and he always puts that one up and go, "Here's my before and here's my after." And I'm like,
right. So it doesn't look like because he's thin. Yeah. So
thin.
Right. So I mean, so it made him look bigger being next to you. It'd be like a number 10, like a number 10. I'm just kidding. Only thing
I gotta say is, Johnny, from this picture to this picture, you lost at least 150 pounds because I wasn't in it.
Well, I know what I've always been on the bigger end, so I get. I mean, I used to have my friends were all little and skinny, not little, but skinnier than me. And that's where I got the number 10 from. They're like, God, it looks like number 10s are working out, you know. And I'm
Well-
like, yeah, I'm gonna give you a number 10, buddy.
Yeah. So what are you working on? I know what Katie's working on. What are you working on?
Okay, so I am working on a couple of devices. I meant to bring I'm trying to reinvent the flashlight method, but it's pretty cool. So basically, I'm using Tesla coil, and I have these LED lights, and so these LED lights don't require any power to run them. They're ran off of a Tesla coil. I did use this. It's an experimental device. Obviously, I'm testing it, and I brought it out during the ghost hunt #1 in Middle Point, Ohio. So I was able to, with help from other team members and people who did come to the event, so I'm mentally trying to remember things after that, because a relative came through the box, and that's been occurring a lot more lately for me. Relatives coming through the box to speak to people.
Yours or theirs?
Other people's relatives.
Yeah.
It's been happening more and more the past 2 years. And I asked KD, does he ever get that? And he's like, no, I never get that. And I'm like, well, this is becoming a thing with me, where people's relatives are coming through the box wanting to
I'll
speak.
tell you, we've had that happen a lot. And I tell people all the time, just because you're in a haunted location, there is a possibility that your own family members will come through, because you're there looking to have a conversation with something or someone, and they're going to speak up, and they're going to give you what they want you to hear. And I mean, I told people that I don't know how many times at the Sally House that, the spirit that you're hearing from may not be a spirit from here. It may be one that came with you that has a message for you. And that's what you're getting, are those messages.
That's exactly right. And it's been occurring a lot more lately. I would say in the past 2 years, just weird, even frequency sounds coming through the box that I even went back years ago in 2015 when Katy first made his ghost box, and even used an SB7. If you paid close attention, you'll start hearing like a frequency change, and it sounds very odd. And I'm like, well, what the heck is going on here? I need to get with both Katy and Katy on an experimental device that needs modified. Gonna involve a good amount of germanium.
I have no clue. It's David. We'll just leave it at that.
Oh, can you get access to that?
Maybe at the flower store. Geraniums, but I don't know what germanium is. So, and Dara said she had a spirit from McPike Mansion come to her at McPike Mansion.
At the Pythian.
Yeah. She used to be a tour guide there.
So
she used to do house sitting for Tamara.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So.
Oh, he says $3 a gram. Dara also said that they got an EVPs. Oh yeah. Oh, so actually, so I used to think that spirits can get energy from crystals, and that is a theory. Well, the spirits at the Pythian Castle told me, I have this EVP, and it would not touch the crystal. And so I was by myself down in the tunnel by myself. And I was like, look, can you tell me why you didn't like the crystal that was down here? And plain as day, it said, I don't want to be attached to it. I don't want to be attached to it. And it was a male's voice.
Hmm.
Very
so it was
weird.
concerned that it was going to be touch that crystal and be in that crystal.
Yes. Yes. And also I had an occurrence in Kansas at the theater in Ottawa, Kansas, the Ottawa Theater, and the spirit there. Do you know about that place?
I'm the one that told him it was haunted.
Really?
They didn't know.
Yeah, they didn't know.
We were there.
David, I told David.
for David's event.
Yeah, and I told him. I told David, and I told Josh Hurd.
Everybody looked around
and,
like, "Is it really?"
Who else? What's his name?
Who was the
Justin?
Who was the director back then?
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. So
how long ago was that?
David, when did you release Into the Light 1?
The event in Ottawa at the theater.
Yeah. So, because I walked in there and I told Justin, what's Justin's last name?
You want to eat Chinese food?
No.
No,
So-
she said she's good.
But yeah, I told Justin, I said, first of all, I said, there's a spirit here with you, but she came with you. And I said, but I had said something else about there being another one. And somebody else that was there in the theater went to the director and told the director that they needed to be doing tours there because I told them it was haunted. They actually took credit for me saying it was haunted.
2017. Yeah, we were investigating, I believe, that and at the end of 2018 into the beginning of 2019, we were investigating the Ottawa Theater. And so I always, now this is how I research. I don't actually research anything on the building itself, the location. I do research on the town. So I build a timeline. Okay. And it's normally things that are significant that has occurred throughout time in that town. Okay. And then that's how, but I don't sit down and say, oh, is anybody here? Because that opens the door for anything to come speak to me, because I don't want that. I don't want any, like you said, because people can follow other. So I sit there and wait till something comes to me. And typically, you know, I have a certain way of doing things prior to going to a location, because I only want to speak to what's there when I do an initial investigation.
Right.
And, you know, because this isn't an event, this is actual research, and it's it's time consuming. It takes a long time. And so there was a lot of military there. I believe, long story short, what we had encountered was somebody was killed in front of the building. I did find historical information on that because I didn't know that. I found historical information on that. And then I had a feeling in that women's bathroom downstairs. As soon as I walked in, I was immediately directed to the women's bathroom. And I looked up at the ceiling and I said, yeah, I don't like that. It was just a weird feeling. And
You said something about that too.
Well, there was a gentleman who had committed suicide up there, and he was he had just gotten out of the military. He was a veteran. He was a staff sergeant.
World War I, right?
No, he came back from World War II.
Because there was a World War I veteran or World War I guy that I ran into there that had died.
There are several. Okay, so if my mind serves me correctly, I'm wanting to say I encountered roughly 9 different spirits. But they didn't stay there all the time. Now, I don't know how the one spirit is. I think he's there most of the time. I think he may have cursed himself. I don't know, because typically these, if it's spirit and soul, I think maybe he had an attachment himself when he was alive. I don't know, but he committed suicide. all over some money. I believe maybe he found out his wife was cheating on him, but the theater had their historical society there with us, and they dug and dug and dug. And I found a name. I said, well, here's a name for you guys. Cause he was part of the American Legion, and they had their, meetings upstairs, and the gentleman did kill himself in, I would call it a broom closet. And that is the only part of the theater that has not been redone. It's the original, all original. They just left that one little, there's just a door there, and you can walk in it, and there's nothing in there, nothing, but it's the only area of the theater they had not refurbished. But right below that floor is the women's bathroom, and they didn't find the gentleman, I believe, for a good 6 weeks.
Wow.
It could be.
Oh, that had to smell great.
Well, it could have been 5 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks.
Still,
so I found a newspaper article of a woman complaining about something growing out the ceiling of the bathroom where she thought it was mold.
Was it a wood floor?
Yes.
That sounds like the death of John's house. I'll have to tell you about that.
Yeah, it was. If you go, it's a wood floor that's upstairs, and everything's original. Nothing's been changed. I mean, they cleaned it up in there, but just just the chemicals from our body,
and if it was in the summer, it would have been horrible.
Yeah,
it was in the summer. It was in the summer.
They couldn't have cleaned it all up. So.
Oh, well, we took here's some little black lights again that we were talking about earlier. Let's see. So you can see it's
just soak into the wood.
Yes.
So
we actually had to
say, like I said, it was really strange when we walked in there. It was, we walked in, we said hi to David, sat down, we're very good patrons of the theater at the time, being very calm, but I was distracted because I kept hearing spirits talking and things like that. And, it is what it is. And I had been there before, about 5 years before that, and had seen these same spirits. So you figure I was there, in 2012 for my daughter's friend had a birthday party there.
And they do birthday parties there. They sure do.
So I had gone for that. Not only that, I had a guy that I worked with lived across the street from there. In his house, he kept saying his house was haunted. And he would tell me things about it, and I'd go, okay, you live in a historic home. It's very possible, things like that. And he kept telling me all kinds of different things about his house.
Now, David, we are.
So there's all kinds of different things going on in Ottawa that's kind of strange. But, we only live 30 minutes from there.
Right.
Go straight across 68 and there we are.
Yeah, a lot of history. I don't know if you drink coffee, tea, heck, water. I don't know. I need to sit down and just pick your brain.
You know what? At some point, we need to just come up to Smithville and hang out with you guys.
Yeah. Yes, please
when
do.
You're in town.
Yeah, you're gone a lot.
You guys are gone a lot.
Well, actually, Katy is like, hey, can you cut down on the booking of things? And he's right. I mean, Katy has a lot of work to do. He has a lot of unfinished projects. We both do. And it's not
let's be honest, who doesn't?
Right.
We all have stuff that we haven't done.
Right. So most of we're pretty booked up for September. But October, as of right now, is not booked. Well, I have historical society cemetery tours that I do historical cemetery tours, obviously, every year for various different.
We do campouts at cemeteries.
Yeah, we camp out in cemeteries. In fact, Katie has been invited to come to that should he ever get a chance to come. But I know you guys are always busy. So.
Have you guys noticed this, that there aren't very many paranormal couples? Have you noticed that?
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
now,
it seems like there's always one
The husband
one
or the
person is involved and the other one could care
it's
less.
not. Yeah, yes.
It's not very many. I didn't know if you guys had noticed that, over the years.
Yes, I have.
Were both of you in the paranormal when you met?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we didn't know that. Well, okay, so
yeah.
Okay, so
How long did you know each other before it came out?
Oh, it was instantly.
Oh, okay.
Ours was 11 years.
Ours was about 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get to some questions we have in the chat room. Bye, Tom. It was good seeing you.
Tom.
Bye, Tom.
So here's one of the questions. They're asking Katie, but he's not. Hopefully, he's around. But what is the best evidence you guys have gotten at the Pythian?
So I can't speak. I can actually, Mike can speak this for Katie on this one. He actually got a really awesome EVP/radio communication. I can't remember what it said, but I will holler at him, babe. Sorry, babe, baby, Katie, honey bunny, babe. I hope that didn't blow anybody's ears out.
Oh, well,
Hey,
if it did, it did.
So
it means they're listening.
So this is a question for you. And I talked about the radio EVP thing that you got in the tunnel at the Pythian. What did it say?
Oh, yeah.
Would you consider that your best?
Evidence I've got at the Pythian.
Was it in the tunnel with the?
Actually, that wasn't the best. Like, by my standards, the best was there's a little short video. I want to say it's on Facebook. It's on our Facebook Supernatural Inc. page. I asked the box. I was at the Pythian Castle. I was standing in the backyard right next to that concrete fountain thing. And I asked, where am I at right, or what building am I looking at right now, or something like that. And it said the castle, or a castle. And that was like the most valid, accurate,
like a direct
on-command, direct thing that I can remember right off the top of my head that I've got from that.
So what happened though in the tunnel? What was said in the tunnel?
And the tunnel. Now that was an interesting one still, but it wasn't like directly. I mean, it could have been like just like picking up some kind of residual something that was there or something. But it said, what was it? It said,
Didn't it say
it said,
something about a demon?
Mark of the Beast, mark
Yeah.
my word.
Yeah, because he asked a
Mark of the
question.
Beast, mark my word. So I wonder if it was just like a residual of a conversation that had been had in that steam tunnel at some point. Maybe back in the day when it was functional, because that steam tunnel.
Where's the cat? Oh, that's her cat.
I was doing a session in the very back of it, and if you go back there, it's brand new cinder block, and if you look up, there's like timbers and stuff where they walled it off, but that steam tunnel would continue on to the wash house that's in the back that we don't have access to because
because it's outside.
National Guard owns it.
Yeah,
right. So but I think I could go over and smooth talk them into like letting us in over there. You know what I'm saying?
You might be
thought about doing that,
especially like later at night when they're on staff duty, and it's just the E5 or E6 in there sitting there on staff duty at the front desk. I'd probably go over there and talk to them.
Look at the question, David.
I gotta go get the kids something to eat. I love y'all.
All right. See you.
So David also says for you guys to come down to Joplin the 7th and the 8th of October because we're going.
He's having a big paranormal festival.
He's having a big hoo-ha.
Do I have to pay for that, David?
So let me see if I can find the other messages because I know I missed something.
Well, no, you could be guest speakers, couldn't you?
I don't know.
How much is
You got
that?
enough room, or
How much does that cost?
How much does that cost, David?
Oh, is that the one that Jessica Potter's going to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one. We're going. David's got Josh Hurd is going to be performing. There's going to be some other bands performing as well, so it's going to be
Oh,
really good. I'm going to
yeah.
have him on here again to talk about the show. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to ask him to come back on to talk about it. And
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
as weird. It's actually in my calendar from Eventbrite.
there you go.
Seriously, I didn't put it in there. It's right there. It's in orange, and it was from. I didn't put that in there.
So
Seriously.
there you go. So that means that you guys have got to come.
I guess. I mean, it's. Yeah, it's. I did not put that in there. That's
So
weird.
we had another question in the chat room, and I'm trying to.
Gary asked, "What's your scariest?"
Like I said, I'm still getting used to this.
You're doing a good job. Was the scariest thing
Scariest
Thank you.
thing you ran in? Yeah, I came across.
As you
Okay.
see, it's highlighted now because I was searching the page to find it. That's why Gary's name is yellow.
Okay. The scariest thing that I came across happened to me when we were stationed in Germany, in Schweinfurt, Germany. I was, trying not to investigate too much while I was there, because you could just feel the energy there, in the vibration, you can feel just things there. And but I don't want to say I was attacked in my duplex, okay? Because I didn't live in the Hitler barracks. I lived in Yorktown, which Schweinfurt is closed down now. But I knew there was something there, but I ignored it. Okay, my mother came to stay, and she was supposed to help me down at because I ran the thrift store on post, and I was in the spouses club and stuff like that, and I raised money for scholarships, yada yada yada. Well, I came home and my mom was laid in the floor, and I'd asked her, I didn't know what happened to her. I was like, Mom, what's going on? And she says, she was like, she goes, did you get that? Whoever was at the front door?
Yes, it's David.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so she says, get me the hell out of here. I don't want to be here. I want to go home. I said, well, why? What's going on? She says, you have something demonic here. I want to leave now. It knocked me out of my stool, and it. I'm trying not to laugh because she had weave in her hair, and it pulled her weave out. And that's how she fell down and hit her head. It pulled so hard. And I was like, Mom, just calm down. I was just like, just ignore it. I just kind of didn't want to give it any attention. And well, my mom did go home early because she couldn't deal with the picking at her and things messing with her at night. She had woken up, and she had her shoes on and her socks on, and she thought I was playing a joke on her. And I was like, wouldn't you wake up if I did that? But anyways, so KD was deployed at the time. He was in Afghanistan, and I was upstairs doing laundry, and I got slapped on the rear end, and I thought something had happened to KD because KD, husbands like to slap their wives on the rear end. And so I thought something happened to KD because I hadn't heard from him in almost 2 months, which is very unusual. And so I thought something happened to my husband. And then I was like, well, wait a minute here. That's not my husband. I was like, let me go pull some strings, because I wanted to know where my husband was because I hadn't heard from him. I go to, Rear D. They can't tell me anything. I said, okay, that's fine. I'll just have to pick up the phone, call my dad. And I don't ever ask my dad for things. But anyways, my dad found out what happened, and I did get an email that next morning saying my husband was okay. And then I said, okay, you little BB. I said, it's on now. It took me about 2 weeks to get that sucker up out of my house. And he comes here sometimes to my own house sometimes because I don't banish things. I don't believe whether it's demonic or not. I don't I always believe that they're a creature made from God, and it's not my job. I'm not going to banish a demon, but it will leave me alone. It will get out of my space because we all have control of the physical realm, and I think that's why some spirits come off as aggressive because they know that, and a lot of people don't realize. You don't. In my own personal opinion, I don't want to condemn any soul, to hell by making them go and cross over until they're ready, until they've forgiven those who have hurt them or forgiven themselves. But boy, that joker did not want to go outside for nothing. But I told him, I was like, that's it. That's it. I had to, it was really hard for me to get that guy out of my house, or I don't know what, it was something very, very strong. And my daughter was having problems, but after I had a handprint, there was nobody there in my house. I mean, it was a handprint, but it was just 4 fingers, which is weird. It's very weird. But it was on after that. I said, "Oh, you're done, buddy. Done." Yeah. That was very, because I thought maybe something happened to my husband. That was very scary for me.
Yeah.
But ever since then, I stop ignoring things. I don't ignore things. It's just like an intruder. If an intruder were to come into my house, I'm going to say something.
Well, it's kind of like when I said, be safe, you're going, all right, what do you know?
I'm like, hold up a minute.
I usually say, boom. Oh, freeze.
No. But I mean, there was a day that, it was a perfectly sunny day, beautiful day out. And I gave Ron a hug and a kiss bye. And I said, turn around, don't drown. And he calls me a little bit later going, there was a flood. There was a flood in Lawrence. He goes, I had to turn around so I didn't drown.
It wasn't even raining here. It didn't even look like it was going to rain here. And Lawrence is an hour away.
Yeah.
Turned a corner and it was pouring there.
Yeah,
and I turned the corner and there was just water coming over the road, and a couple cars were trying, and I saw one get kind of carried away, and I went, nah, I think I'll turn around and go somewhere else.
Well, is it the Missouri River the Missouri River?
I think that's the Kansas River.
That was a creek.
That was just a creek that went through there.
Well,
on your way down to Springfield, there's a lot of roads down that way that will flood on the sides of 13.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You got to watch those, especially. We've every time we go by this one, Ron goes, well, I wonder if that road, that one's under. I mean, it does. All it has to do is drizzle a little, and I think that one's underwater.
Do they? It seems like they should put up some like caution signs or something. But
on those they do, but on this one,
this was just a flash flood. I mean, it was.
But again, like I said, it was a bright and sunny day. There was no reason for me to tell him to turn around, don't drown.
Right.
But I did. So when I say something, it's because something has been said somewhere for me to say it. Not that I think I have to. It just for some reason it comes out.
I know some bizarre history that has happened there. Did you know that I want to say 120 Mormons, I know it was over 100. I want to say it could have been 120 or 130, was on a steamboat, and they were trying to get out for 3 days, but the river or whatever water, I believe it was the river. I can't remember the exact history, but the steamboat couldn't get out because of the ice. So the third day, the people were getting restless. They're ready to go. So as soon as he said full steam ahead, needless to say, the ship, the boat blew up, and they were finding body parts for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Months,
I mean, there's a lot of, it's strange how much Mormon history we have in our areas. But I was actually talking to somebody about that at work on Friday. And I know why would I be talking Mormon history at work? But at the end of Interstate 70, there's a place called Cove Fort
Yeah.
in Utah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the beginning of Interstate 70 is in this park where a lot of murder start near a park in Baltimore. That's where there's a lot of murders. Lots and lots. So I have been all the way across I-70 now. And so we went to Cove Fort, and I was telling this guy, I said, it looks brand new. I mean, it looks like it was built maybe 5 years ago. There's no dust. There's no damage to it, nothing. So if you ever get a chance to go, they have
18 something?
Yeah, 1850 something.
Uh-huh.
And this place is, if you're on Interstate 70 before you get to 15 and you got to go to the bathroom, this is the place to stop. It is the cleanest restrooms you ever want to go to.
And I got enough people working,
and there's no
volunteering,
and they're all volunteers. But the thing is, there is nothing between. What was that town that we? So there's a town in Utah we stayed at overnight. There was nothing between that town and Beaver, except for this rest stop.
Wait, there's a town called Beaver in Utah.
Beaver, Utah.
No way.
It actually one of the who was it? It was Wild Bill Hickok.
Yes,
I think. I think that's where he used to live. They have a really good ice cream place there. We stopped at the ice cream place.
Well, let me tell you, Utah has one of the oldest hieroglyphs in the world in Utah. Okay, right around Yellowstone type area, and I forget what the I have everything written down. I've had like
brain fart.
I've had 2 meetings today, and so I'm going from this history to this history to this history
Believe
all
me,
day
I
long.
know. I do the same thing, but we will have to get together and visit because of the fact that I think the only way we're going to get all this history out is to sit down together and talk. So,
well, they talk about the hieroglyphs have these spirals and everything, and these the giants, and whenever the Christians came over to speak to the Navajo Indians, they all laughed and they're like, "Yeah, we already know this. What you talking about? We were already told this," and they're in amazement. And this is documented by the French, by the Spaniards. I don't know about British. I hadn't found anything by them, but I do know by the French and by the Spaniards. And the Navajos, their accounts just passing down through generation to generation, and they prove it with those hieroglyphs in these caverns and these caves, and it's very, very fascinating.
Yeah, I know they've been showing a lot of them on the Skinwalker Ranch show and a few of the other type shows, and we saw a bunch of petroglyphs ourselves in the Painted Desert.
Yeah,
we went there. He was like, "You really want to go there and waste this?"
Yes,
yes, I do.
There's some in Kansas. I think Hobos did it. I don't know.
There is a place in Warrenton, Missouri. There's a cave with petroglyphs in it.
Yes, I have. Well, I have the coordinates to all the caves in Missouri.
Okay, well, this one's just off the highway there in Warrenton. So we're going to go probably the next time we go, not the next time we go to St. Louis, because that's June 9th or July 9th. But we'll go at some point.
I've never heard of
it's just
that.
down the street from where his mom lives, or down the road. She lives in O'Fallon. So
you said Warrenton?
Warrenton.
Oh.
So
you said Warrenton.
Since we only have about 5 minutes left, and there's a show after this, so I don't want to go over. I've shared all your links. So where can everybody find Katy and Katy?
Don't want to get fired on the first week.
Yeah, I don't want to get fired the first week.
No. The best I keep Supernatural Inc. with a K, paranormal.com, Supernatural Inc. paranormal.com, updated. And on Facebook, we are on TikTok, Instagram, obviously Facebook, but the best way would be Supernatural Inc. paranormal.com. We do have a YouTube channel. I do need to update that to have videos to put out, especially on Beaver Island, which is Mormon. Did y'all know that was we had our first king that was, crowned, and on Beaver Island. Anyways, it was Mormon king.
Gary in the chat room, his family's related to the Smiths.
Really? That's very interesting. And I met the people who own the Liberty Jail today during our charisma meeting. And they are talking about the same place that you were talking about in Utah, because they have.
That's funny. So we should bring that up.
Yes, yeah, that's how I knew what you were talking about, because I just had a conversation today with a couple about that. Yes, very interesting. But they own the jail that. Don't tell me his name. I know his name. Crap. What's his name again? The founder of
John Smith.
Joseph Smith.
Joseph Smith. Yeah.
Joseph Smith. Yeah, they kept him in the Liberty Jail for 5 years.
Yeah.
And the Latter-day Saints own that jail there. Mm-hmm.
Now.
It also Latter-day Saints own all of the genealogy of all of us Americans.
Yeah.
If you want to find something, you have to go to the Latter-day Saints to.
There's a website that you can go to, and you can actually go to any one of the locations to do research on that. Because I found out about that, I don't know, years ago. And but sometime I'll have to tell you about Hamilton, Missouri, and all the stuff that's happened up there that we know about.
That would be nice.
The Hans Mill massacre and all kinds of other stuff. So I'm not going to get into that on here since that might be considered religious. But I would like to go ahead.
We went there on our 18th wedding anniversary in 2018.
Where
was our Hamilton, Missouri?
Okay.
Yeah, and we stayed at a old B&B there, and we did the bus ride, and we get on the bus ride, and the people who were conducting the bus ride real quick, they're like, hey, we got some special guests with us, and me and Katie didn't know who they were talking about because we're just sitting there, and we have one case, and they're like, and it says Supernatural Inc. on the case, and they're like, we have Supernatural Inc. here. We have actual paranormal researchers who are joining us tonight, and they're going to lead the investigation. Me and Katie were like,
really?
We're looking around. We're like,
hey,
anybody else Supernatural Inc.? Oh, you mean us? Okay.
We had something similar to that happen to us in Lawrence. We were on a bus tour, and they go, yeah, we got these people on here. They're tour guides at the Sally House in Atchison, Kansas. Oh, and the reason that we started this tour was because we went on a tour through Atchison, and it was just an iPod, and they sat there and they talked bad about us, and they took us right up to people's houses and pointed them out. And I'm like, you just said that we were tour guides in Atchison, and now you're dissing it. And it's like,
well, we didn't do.
I didn't do that.
They're talking about the tour bus or the bus.
Yeah, the trolley that I only did part-time,
right?
Maybe twice a year. But yeah, it still is like, you don't do that. I mean, do you know I wanted to get off that damn bus?
Me and KD wanted to get off. We were like, we don't know. And these people are like, so what's this? We have like expensive equipment, in 2018, we had the Ovilus, and our own personal equipment. And it's like, here's K2, and then, there's kids there and blah, blah, blah. So, but, well, I see there's a lot of people in the chat. So thanks everyone for joining in. And this is your anniversary. And
yes, this is our 7th anniversary. And I'd like to thank you so much for coming on. And
Gary's talking about dowsing rods and wells. I know all about some wells in Lawrence. I know where them wells are, where all those people died. That's right.
Yeah. So I want to
we use dowsing rods a lot.
I'd like for you guys all to join us next week for my guest, Tim Scullion.
Nice. I'm going to join.
Yeah, he's going to share some pictures of
you guys join too.
And then make sure that you come back here tomorrow night at 5:00 to see Paranormal Not So Normal with Carl, me, and Ron. And we love to talk to you. And I'll find us a guest for that show.
Oh, you did.
And let's see. I think I have a guest for that show. So thank you so much for coming on. I miss you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys again. And Everyone, you're listening to the Paranormal Pride right here on Bill of Rights Network. Thank you so much for listening.
Peace. Thanks for joining.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.